Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Sales Mindset TV show. I'm Chris Edwards and I'm here with Steve Knapp.
Hi Chris, hi everyone.
Okay, so this week we've been talking about how to build and maintain your sales strategy.
Yep.
So continuing on that theme, but today in particular we're going to talk about how to always link your sales when defining your business goals.
Yeah.
Now that sounds quite a complicated tagline, so just break it down. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by linking sales when defining your business goals?
Yeah, I mean, to me this is fundamental, and one of the gaps that I see a lot in smaller businesses. I mean, yesterday we spoke about the fear of selling, and I mentioned something about people will say they're a photographer, an importer, a distributor, an inventor, before they say their sales, and therefore their goals tend to be defined about, I'm going to bring a new product in and I'm going to develop a new solution, without thinking about, well, how am I going to sell it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say about how we're going to sell it, are you talking about the audience? Which audience am I going to go to? Where am I going to find them?
So I'm talking about that as one thing, and I'm talking about even more tactically, how am I going to sell it? Am I going to sell it as a niche product, mainstream product? What tactics am I going to adopt when I get into that? And if I write that down as part of my strategy, that becomes clear. So yeah, to your point, yes it is, where are people, defining your market, and then when I get to that market, how actually am I going to sell to these people?
Okay, so we've got a new product.
Yeah.
We've got our business goals to sell a certain amount a year.
Yeah.
What are those steps?
Yeah. Well, so the first thing we spoke about there is, where is our market? So we've spoken about, where are your customers? Where do they operate? Where do they meet? And therefore, how do you put yourself and where you meet to be part of that strategy? We've spoken before about getting this right. And the example I use, if I was to go to a networking group of sales coaches, that would be a great place for my learning, and that would be a great place to find insight, but it wouldn't be a great place to go and implement my sales strategy.
Okay.
Part of my strategy is to become even more knowledgeable than I am about sales, so that part of my strategy, but turning that into a business needs me to be putting myself into the right place where my clients are.
Okay, so that's network meetings, exhibitions, events, after work events, things like that.
Yeah, totally in that space. And within that, the magic is knowing where you fit in the value chain of that event. So, knowing that you actually can contribute and play an active part in selling to every component of that value chain, and not being just part of a networking group, an exhibition. It's part of the strategy to sell.
Okay, so you need to start thinking about the price of your product, who's able to buy it, and in fact, what we talked about before, about the value of your product, which product you're going to sell and how you're going to upsell them and things like that. So there's a lot of thought that needs to go into this.
Yeah, and that's why it is, it's right up there. As we're starting this syllabus again, right, with the sales, you're sustaining sales in your business strategy. It's the third point we're talking about. Yeah, it's the third point that says it's all right to have goals and it's great to have goals, but think about how you turn them into sales.
And should all this be reviewable? Should you be reviewing the outcomes and adapting?
Well, absolutely. The first thing is, let's define it, let's understand it, let's make a plan, and then the third thing, let's review it.
Okay.
And a simple measure as you take things into your sales pipeline, there's no harm in just tagging these things to say, this was at this event, this was a consequence of this meeting, this was a consequence of this strategy, because it helps your review and your learning.
Brilliant. We've only got a few more minutes left.
Yeah.
So really quickly, from everything we've talked about today, top tip? What tips should people be taking home with them?
Out of what we've spoken there today, I would say understand that you're part of a value chain, and to put yourself in the value chain that you can add more value to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that's all we've got time for today. We have been talking about, linking your sales when defining your business goals, and it's a very important aspect of your sales strategy.
Yeah.
As Steve mentioned, this is only the third thing in the syllabus, and we've got a long way to go in the syllabus. So if you do want to know more, do comment below. Do join the group, the Sales Mindset group, and there's a lot more information in there as well,
Yeah, there is.
if you're not already part of that. But until we see you again, thank you very much.